Welcome to Sri Venkateswara College of Arts and Science. This is KVR Narasimha Rao, lecturer in mathematics, Sri Venkateswara College of Arts and Science, Amalapuram, East Godavari district, affiliated to Adikavi Nanna University, Rajahmundry. This is the part 2 of second year mathematics, third semester subgroups. In the previous lesson, we have learned about what is the definition of subgroup and various theorems on subgroups. The main theorem of subgroups is necessary and sufficient condition for a subgroup to be a group. That is the two theorems of the necessary and sufficient condition. The first theorem is a non-empty complex H to be a subgroup of a group G if and only if, first condition, A comma B belongs to H implies AB belongs to H. Second condition, A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H. And second, the necessary and sufficient condition for a subgroup H to be a group is A comma B belongs to H implies AB inverse belongs to H. These are the two important theorems we have discussed in the previous lesson. In this lesson, we have done some theorems based on subgroups and some more important theorems are discussing now. The first theorem is a necessary and sufficient condition for a non-empty complex H of a group G to be a subgroup of G is that HH inverse is a subset of H. Once again, the necessary and sufficient condition for a non-empty complex H of a group G to be a subgroup of G is that HH inverse is a subset of H. Now we go to the proof. Necessary condition. Necessary condition is if H is a subgroup, then we need to prove HH inverse is a subset of H. So that is H is a subgroup of G. Let X belongs to HH inverse implies X is equal to AB inverse, where A comma B belongs to H. Because of the second important theorem we have discussed in the previous lesson, that is the necessary and sufficient condition for a subgroup of G to be a group, for a subgroup of G is AB belongs to H implies AB inverse belongs to H. That's why X belongs to HH inverse implies X is equal to AB inverse, where A comma B belongs to H. Now A belongs to H, B belongs to H, H is a subgroup of G implies AB inverse belongs to H implies X belongs to H. So therefore X belongs to HH inverse implies X belongs to H. This implies HH inverse is a subset of H. So necessary part has been proved. So once again the necessary part is to be explained. That is H is a subgroup of G. What is G? G is equal to G comma dot is a group. H is a subgroup of G. That means H is a subset of G and H comma dot is also a group. Now let X belongs to HH inverse implies X is equal to small AB inverse, where A comma B belongs to H. A belongs to H, B belongs to H, and H is a subgroup of G. Then the necessary and sufficient condition for a subgroup to be a group is AB inverse belongs to H. So what is AB inverse? AB inverse is equal to X. Therefore, X belongs to H. Therefore, what is assumed? X belongs to H. What is the result obtained from this? From this necessary condition, X belongs to H. Therefore, X belongs to H inverse implies X belongs to H implies H inverse is a subset of H. So, necessary part has been proved. Now, sufficient condition. Suppose H inverse is a subset of H. H inverse is a subset of H. So, let A comma B belongs to H. Now H inverse is a subset of H. What is to be needed to be proved? H is a subgroup of G. So that's why let A comma B belongs to H. Now AB inverse belongs to H inverse. AB inverse belongs to H inverse. And H inverse is a subset of H. Implies AB inverse belongs to H. So, from the necessary and sufficient condition of a subgroup to be a group is if H is a subgroup of G, if and only if A comma B belongs to H, AB inverse belongs to H. Therefore, H is a subgroup of G. So, implied condition is also proved. Once again, the implied condition. Suppose H inverse is a subset of H. Let A comma B belongs to H. Now, A into B inverse belongs to H inverse, and by the definition of product of two complexes. And H inverse is a subset of H. H inverse is a subset of H, and AB inverse belongs to H inverse. Therefore, AB inverse belongs to H. Therefore, H is a subgroup of G. Next theorem. The necessary and sufficient condition for a non-empty complex H of a group G to be a subgroup of G is that H inverse is equal to H. Once again, the statement of the theorem. The necessary and sufficient condition for a non-empty complex H of a group G to be a subgroup of G is that H inverse is equal to H. Proof. Implies part. Suppose H is a subgroup of G. What is the result that we have applied in the previous theorem? H inverse is a subset of H. Now, that is we call it as 1. Now, let a small h belongs to capital H. Implies H is equal to HE, because H is a subgroup, that means having identity element E. Therefore, H is same as HE. Implies HE inverse belongs to HH inverse. H is equal to HE. What is the inverse of A? HE inverse. So, HE inverse belongs to HH inverse. So, therefore, small h belongs to capital H implies small h belongs to HH inverse. Therefore, H is a subset of HH inverse. What is the first equation? HH inverse is a subset of H. What is the second equation? H is a subset of HH inverse. Therefore, from 1 and 2, we conclude that HH inverse is equal to H. Next, implied part. What is the implied part? HH inverse is equal to H. HH inverse is equal to H. When we say two sets are to be equivalent, one set is a subset of other set. That is, HH inverse is a subset of H. So, HH inverse is a subset of H, then what is the result obtained in the previous theorem? H is a subgroup of J. Therefore, once again, the implies part is H is a subgroup of G, then we have proved HH inverse is equal to H. What is the implied part? HH inverse is equal to H, then H is a subgroup of G. So, therefore, the theorem has proved. Next, one more important theorem, very much important. This theorem is frequently asked in the university examination. So, take care in listening the theorem also. A finite non-empty complex H of a group G is a subgroup of G if and only if A comma B belongs to H implies AB belongs to H. Once again, a finite non-empty complex of a group G is a subgroup of G if and only if A comma B belongs to H implies AB belongs to H. Finite non-empty complex. So, let finite means the G H having finite number of elements. Let G is equal to G comma dot is a group. H is a non-empty complex of group G. That is, H is a subset of G and H is not equal to 5 because non-empty complex. So that's why H not equal to null set and H is a subset of G. Now implies part. Suppose H is a finite subgroup of G. H is a finite subgroup of G. Therefore, H is a group with respect to the operation dot. Therefore, dot is a binary operation on H. H is a binary, dot is a binary operation on H. Therefore, that is dot means usual multiplication. Usual multiplication. Therefore, A comma B belongs to H implies A into B belongs to H. What is A into B? AB. AB belongs to H. So, necessary part has proved. Once again, H is a finite subgroup of G. That is, H is a group with respect to the operation dot because subgroup H is a subgroup of G. What is G? G is equal to G comma dot. Therefore, H comma dot is also a group. Therefore, H is a group with respect to the operation dot. Therefore, dot is a binary operation on H. That means dot means usual multiplication. Therefore, and H is a non-empty. Therefore, H having at least one element. So, let us choose two elements in H, say A comma B. So, that is A comma B belongs to H implies A into B is equal to AB belongs to H. So, therefore, implies part has proved. Now, implied part. What is implied part? H is a finite non-empty complex of H such that A comma B belongs to H implies AB belongs to H. H is non-empty implies H having at least one element. So let A belongs to H. This implies A belongs to H and dot is a binary operation on H. Then A into A is equal to A square belongs to H. By induction, A cube belongs to H, A power 4 belongs to H, etc. A power n also belongs to H for small n belongs to capital N. Therefore, the set A square, A cube, etc. A power n, etc. is a subset of H. H is a finite. Therefore, A power R is equal to A power S, where R comma S belongs to capital N and R greater than S. H is finite. Let us assume two elements in H, say A power R and A power S, are equal. That is A power R is equal to A power S, where R comma S are natural numbers and such that R greater than S. R greater than S implies R minus S greater than 0. implies r minus s also belongs to n, because r greater than n, so r minus s is greater than or equal to 1. Therefore, r minus s belongs to n. Now, a power r minus s is equal to a power r into a power minus s. What is a power minus s? A power s whole power minus 1. Therefore, a power r minus s is equal to a power r into a power s whole power minus 1. This is equal to, what is a power r? A power r is equal to a power s. Therefore, a power r minus s is equal to a power s into a power s whole power minus 1. Element into its inverse is equal to identity E. Therefore, a power r minus s is equal to E. Now, if r minus s is equal to 1, implies a power 1 is equal to E. Implies a is equal to E. And a inverse is equal to a inverse. Sorry, E inverse implies E is equal to a belongs to H. Therefore, r minus s greater than 1 implies r minus s greater than 0. Sorry, r minus s minus 1 greater than 0. Implies r minus s minus 1 belongs to n. Therefore, a power r minus s belongs to H. Therefore, a belongs to H implies a power minus 1 belongs to H. A belongs to H implies a power minus 1 also belongs to H from the above results. Therefore, every element is invertible. So, inverse exists for each element. Therefore, H is a group. Therefore, H is a group of G, H is a group and H is a subset of G. Therefore, H is a subgroup of G. So, this implied part is also proved. Now, once again, the implied condition. Implied part. What is the implied part? Suppose H is a non-empty complex. And non-empty means having at least one element. Therefore, let us assume A belongs to H. So, A belongs to H. And dot is a binary operation on H. Then A into A is equal to A square also belongs to H. This A square belongs to H, A belongs to H. A cube also belongs to H because A square into A. Similarly, by mathematical induction, A power n also belongs to H for n belongs to capital N. Therefore, the set A square, A cube, etc., A power r, etc., A power s, etc., A power n, etc. is a subset of H. All these elements are belongs to H. So, this set is a subset of H. H is finite. And let us assume two elements in above set, say A power r and A power s are equal. Therefore, A power r is equal to A power s, where r comma s belongs to n and r greater than n. Now, r greater than s, sorry, r not greater than n, r greater than s, sorry. R greater than s implies r minus s greater than 0. Implies r minus s also belongs to capital N. Now, A power r minus s is equal to A power r into A power s whole power minus 1. What is A power r? A power s. Therefore, A power s into A power s whole power minus 1. An element and multiplication with the inverse element is identity. Therefore, E. Therefore, r greater than s, then A power r minus s must be equal to the identity element. If r minus s is equal to 1, r minus s is equal to 1. Implies A power r minus s is equal to A power 1 is equal to E. Implies A is equal to E. And A power minus 1 is equal to E power minus 1. Implies E is equal to A. What is A? A belongs to H. Therefore, for r minus s is equal to 1, then E is equal to A belongs to H. Now, if r minus s greater than 1, R minus S greater than 1 implies R minus S minus 1 greater than 0. This implies R minus S minus 1 also belongs to capital N, which implies A power R minus S minus 1 belongs to H. Now, A belongs to H implies A inverse. Sorry, once again. A power R minus S is equal to E implies A into A power R minus S minus 1. But A belongs to H and A power R minus S minus 1 belongs to H. And this is identity element. Therefore, A into A power R minus S minus 1 is equal to E. So, therefore, A power minus 1 is equal to A power R minus S minus 1 belongs to H. How this result is obtained? A into B is equal to E, then B is called inverse of A. Therefore, what is B? B is equal to A power R minus S minus 1. Therefore, A inverse is equal to A power R minus S minus 1 belongs to H. Therefore, A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H. So, every element is invertible in H. Therefore, H is a group and H is a subset of G. Therefore, because H is a non-empty complex, therefore H is a subgroup of G. So, the theorem has proved. Next one is some important note result. This theorem is not true for infinite H. For infinite, that is, if H is infinite subgroup, infinite subset of G such that A comma B belongs to H implies AB belongs to H, then H need not be a subgroup of G. In this case, if H is a infinite set, and it is a subset of G, then A comma B belongs to H implies AB belongs to H. Then H need not be a subgroup of G. For example, N is an infinite subset of group Z comma plus such that A comma B belongs to N implies A plus B belongs to H. But N is not a subgroup of Z comma plus. Next we will practice some problem of finding subgroups of a group G. What is the problem? Find all the subgroup of G comma circle plus 6, where G is equal to set 0 bar, 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bar, 5 bar. Once again, find all the subgroups of G comma circle plus 6. What is the residue class modulo 6? 0 bar, 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bar, 5 bar. So, let G is equal to Z6 is equal to set of 0 bar, 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bar, 5 bar. And binary operation permitted in this is circle plus 6. Therefore, if G having actually 6 elements, therefore G have 2 power 6 subsets. They are 5 singleton set 0, pair set 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, etc. and triplet set 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 3, etc. 0, 2, 4, etc. Four element sets, etc., etc. 6 element set, that is G itself. Therefore, phi have 64 subsets. Sorry, G has 64 subsets. These 64 are complexes of G is equal to Z6 comma circle plus 6, because A set having 6 elements, then it having 2 power 6, that is 64 subsets. If a set is a subset of a group G, then the subset is called complex. That's why each of the above are complexes. Among the complexes, 5 is empty complex. All the remaining are non-empty complexes. Now, let us choose whether singleton set 0, comma, circle plus 6 is a subgroup of G, comma, circle plus 6. That's why H is equal to is singleton set 0. Because in 0 belongs to H. 0 plus 0 is equal to 0 also belongs to Z6. Therefore, and this 0 plus 0 plus 0 is equal to 0 plus 0 plus 0. From the above, we conclude that Z6, that is H, comma, circle plus 6 obeys closure property and associative property. Now, identity. 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. Therefore, 0 is the identity in H. That is, singleton set 0 is H, then the element is the identity. Then 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. Therefore, inverse of 0 is also 0. Therefore, how many elements in H in the first case? Only one element. So, the one element set, that is singleton set 0 and circle plus 6 having identity, having inverse. Therefore, singleton set 0 and circle plus 6 is a subgroup of Z6, comma, circle 6. Now, H is equal to single set 1, single set 2, 1 bar, 2 bar, single set 1 bar, or single set 2 bar, or single set 2, 3 bar, etc. single set 5 bar are not subgroups. Because the above conditions, that is closure, associative, identity and inverse, any or some of the properties may not be satisfied by the 5 subsets. Therefore, only the singleton set 0 is a subgroup among singleton sets. Now, let us choose H is equal to pair element set 0, 1 is a subset of G. So, the binary operation table is like this. 0 plus circle plus 0, 1, 0, 1, 0 plus 0 is equal to 0, 0 plus 1 is equal to 1, 1 plus 0 is equal to 1, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, not belongs to H. Therefore, H is equal to pair set 0, 1 does not satisfying the closure property. So, there is no need to verify associative, identity inverse. Therefore, H is equal to pair element set 0, 1 is not a group. Therefore, H, comma, circle plus is not a subgroup. Similarly, H is equal to pair set 0, 2. Then H, comma, circle plus is not a subgroup. H is equal to 0, 3 is the table is like this. 0 plus 0 is equal to 0, 0 plus 3 is equal to 3, 3 plus 0 is equal to 3, and 3 plus 3 is equal to 6 bar, 6 bar minus 6 is equal to 0 bar. So, all the elements belongs to H. Similarly, associative property also being verified. So, identity is 0 is the identity element belongs to H in pair set 0, 3. So, 0, 3, pair set 0, 3 having identity as well as inverse. Therefore, H is equal to pair set 0, 3 is a subgroup of G. Now, 3 element set H is equal to set 0, 1, 2 is a subset of G, and binary operation like this. Some elements not belongs to H. So, AB belongs to H need not imply A plus B belongs to H. Therefore, H comma circle plus 6 is not a group. Therefore, H is not a subgroup. Now, H is equal to 0, 2, 4 is a subset of H. Binary operation table is like this. 0, 2, 4, 0, 2, 4. This implies all the elements belongs to H. Therefore, AB belongs to H implies A plus B belongs to H for all A comma B belongs to H. Therefore, H comma circle plus X is a group. Therefore, H comma circle plus 6 is a subgroup of G. Now, therefore, among 64 complexes, only singletons at 0 and pairs at 0, 3 and triplets at 0, 2, 4 and G are only the subgroup of G. Therefore, how many subgroups? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are subgroups of G. Another important problem, that is, prove that the set of multiples of 3 is a subgroup of group of integers under addition. Prove that the set of multiples of 3, that is 3z, is a subgroup of a group z comma plus. We know that z is equal to set minus infinity etc. minus 3 minus 2 minus 1 0 1 2 etc. infinity. This is can be also be written as set of all n such that n belongs to z. And we know that z comma plus is a group. Now 3z is equal to set of 3n such that n belongs to z. Therefore 3z is a non-empty set and subset of z. That is 3z is a subset of z. Now let a comma b belongs to 3z. A is equal to 3m, m belongs to z. B is equal to 3n, n belongs to z. Now a plus b is equal to 3z plus 3m plus 3n, 3 into m plus n. M plus n, m belongs to z, n belongs to z, m plus n also belongs to z. Therefore 3m plus 3 into m plus n belongs to z. Now a minus b, that is 3m minus 3n, that is 3 into m minus n belongs to 3z, because m belongs to z, n belongs to z, m minus n also belongs to z. Therefore 3z comma circle plus is a group. Therefore 3z comma circle plus is a subgroup of z comma plus. So therefore the problem is the set of all multiples of 3 is a subgroup of z comma plus. Similarly, the set of 2z comma plus is also a subgroup of z comma plus. Next we go to another problem, that is prove that q comma plus is a subgroup of r comma plus, but r minus q is not a subgroup of r. Once again, prove that q comma plus is a subgroup of r comma plus, and r minus q is not a subgroup of q comma plus. What is r minus q? Set of irrational numbers. What is q? Set of rational numbers. What is r? Set of real numbers. So starting the problem, practicing the problem, that is solution. Let R is equal to set of minus infinity, etc., etc., 0, etc., etc., infinity. Now Q, let Q is equal to set P by Q such that P belongs to Z, Q belongs to N. And we know that Q is a subset of R. And Q is non-empty. And Q is non-empty and Q is a subset of R. Therefore, Q is a non-empty complex of R, comma, plus. Let A, comma, B belongs to Q implies A minus B belongs to Q implies Q, comma, plus is a subgroup of R, comma, plus. Now, let A belongs to R minus Q. A minus A is equal to 0 does not belongs to R minus Q. Therefore, R minus Q, comma, plus is not a subgroup of R, comma, plus. And next problem. If H is a subgroup of G and G belongs to G and G inverse is equal to set of G inverse such that H belongs to H, then prove that G inverse is a subgroup of G. Once again, if H is a subgroup of G, capital H is a subgroup of G, and small g be an element in G, and G capital H G inverse is one set as set of small g small h G inverse such that H belongs to H, then prove that GH G inverse is a subgroup of G. Solution. G is equal to G, comma, dot is a group and H is a subgroup of G. Let G belongs to G, then GH G inverse is equal to set small GH G inverse such that H belongs to H. Therefore, GH G inverse belongs to GH G inverse. Therefore, GH G inverse is non-empty subset of G. That is, small g capital H G inverse is a subset of G. Now, and GH G inverse is non-empty. Let us assume two elements A, comma, B belongs to GH inverse. Implies A is equal to GH1 G inverse for H1 belongs to H, and B is equal to GH2 G inverse for H2 belongs to H. H1 comma H2 belongs to H, and capital H is a subgroup of G implies H1 H2 inverse belongs to H. Because of necessary and sufficient condition for a subgroup to a group is product of an element and product of inverse of other element belongs to H. That's why H1 H2 inverse belongs to H. Now, AB inverse is equal to GH1 G inverse into GH2 G inverse whole inverse is equal to GH1 G inverse into G inverse whole inverse into H2 inverse into G inverse is equal to GH1 into G inverse whole inverse into H2 inverse into G inverse. What is G inverse into G inverse whole inverse? E. Therefore, GH1E, H2 inverse, G inverse. What is H1? E, H1. This is equal to G H1 H2 inverse G.